finished a 40-year career at a school. And that was my life. That's my soul. And if I'm not happy there, I don't feel appreciated, no one there is really connecting with me, okay, I'm not so sure my motivational level is going to be up here. So how do you ever take this concept back home and start to make adjustments? So we can click a little bit. Thanks, Coach. So, now what? In the area of communication, first of all, the major thing we need to do, we've just talked about this, is asking people, getting out and communicating with people about, first of all, who they are. What's going on in your life? I need to know tell me a little bit about what's happening with you and what motivates you. You know, what are you looking to do in the next 5 years? What's in your future goals? Who are you? We need to get out and learn their stories. Again, I told my grateful story the other day. I've had at least 12 people come up and tell me their story. I didn't even know them. If I had known them when I was talking, all of us have stories. All of us have challenges. We need to know our people in order to truly want to motivate them. Because if you're interested in this area, what you're interested in is helping people. Helping people find their potential and be happy. The other thing in the area of communication is an anonymous engagement survey. We just talked about this inside. So something that we do at Native Nations, which is really powerful, is that we can feed and help you with anonymous engagement surveys that can allow you to find out how engaged your employees are. And then we can take that and break it down and tell you where the areas need some tweaking. So using these surveys are very, very powerful. Team building, okay? Yeah, these once-a-year big shows of like, okay, everybody's coming for once a year, we're going to get together and make everybody a team. Come on. You're all in families. It doesn't work like that, right? Once a year, we're going to get all together as a family. Other than that, we're not going to communicate. And we're going to build a team. It doesn't work like that. Team building doesn't have to be the big shows. Team building can be the 5 of us get together. On night of Christmas, we got together in Native Nations. 8 of us sat together at a table. We sat around the table, and all we did was this. Okay, so the hardest one was Justin. He was sitting next to me. We went around the room and said, okay, just say one thing why you admire and respect Justin. Because he's a great guy, because he gives to all of us, he really cares about each one of us. Okay, what about you, Mary? Because last Tuesday when I was sick and I was really hurting, Justin gave me a call at home to find out how I felt. Then we went around that room, and it took us about 30 minutes. And you know what? Every professional football team does this. Every great family does this. They talk about each other. Again, what do leaders do? They say what they believe. And then they do what they believe. And then others believe what they believe. We've got to be verbal and tell people why they're good people. So there's little team building things, and they can be goofy and funny. I'm good friends with the Chicago Cubs, pretty good friends. Joe Madden, he's the Chicago Cubs championship coach. Okay, you know what they did? 2 days before the first game of the World Series, they went bowling. The Cubs. They went bowling in pajamas. I mean, they're playing together. They're loosening up. It doesn't mean it costs a lot of money, but team building activities work. Very critical. Okay, do an inventory of your hiring process. What questions are you asking? Are you really getting into the motivational forces of your employees? Are the questions you're using, are they really enabling you to understand at what level of motivation your employees are? And explore your outboarding programs. This is critical. The first 30, 60 days, you know it. First impressions are lasting impressions. So look into those. The other thing that's really important, and we're offering it, we have just started this giant virtual training. You know, Justin is ridiculous. He's absurd. And he said, I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to offer this to as many people as we can. We're going to do it at a low, it's almost a giveaway, I won't say what it is, but we're going to offer these courses online so there's never an excuse. We're going to help motivate people to work harder, be happier, and get totally engaged. We're going to give this to them as a gift. And then in the long run, this will help everyone. And those courses start when, Coach? January 31st. So all motivational courses, give us just a quick, not too much.
Time management, employee motivation, which Mr. Jim is going to be leading. Conflict management, performance management, having difficult conversations, all the skills you need to be awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know about you, but I said at the beginning, your personal growth is the most important thing. Your personal growth. And in order to grow, you've got to get coaching. You know, my daughter is a Broadway star. All these superstars on Broadway, guess what they do every week? They're their coaches. They made it to the top. Guess what every great hitter is doing all week? Hitting with their hitting coach. They're the best. If you stop learning, if you stop being trained, you become stagnant. I don't care who you are. You've heard this. Grow or die. Grow or die. You've got a choice. And this takes effort. It takes determination on your part. But with motivation, the motivation that I know you have, okay, you can be the model of making the change. You know, again, we said it yesterday in the gratefulness talk. You know, we're up against tough odds. You know, Muhammad Ali said, impossible. It's really a big word, really big word, thrown around by really small people who find it easier to settle into the world they've been given rather than explore the possibility of change. He said, impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. And then he said, impossible is not a declaration, it is a dare. And then Ali said, impossible is nothing. It's nothing. And I'll leave you the last one on motivation. I think we have a question. Where are we? I thought it was 40. Where are we time-wise? Questions?
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay, I'm sorry, I thought it was 15. Okay, I'm going to hit you first with, again, to me, motivation is believing in yourself, okay? Marianne Williamson, our greatest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that scares us most. We ask ourselves, who am I? To be brilliant, to be a leader, to be a changer, to be someone who stands out. Well, who are you not to be? She said, you're a child of God. And you playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel inferior around you. You were born to use the strength and power. As you let your own light shine, you unconsciously give others the same power to do the same. It is our step to become a leader. Now I'm going to ask Stephanie to come up here for a minute and just talk a little bit about, thank you, Coach. So Stephanie is really someone who spent a life in the area of leadership and training, okay? And so we are combining on this giant leadership movement.
Yes, it's a movement.
And so tell me, what are the three things? What are the three things that you could get if you trained with this group or went through a coaching session? What's the three things that you would learn or you would take back into your organization to do?
So one of the things that all of our training really tries to give you is tangible solutions. So a lot of times, you hear someone talk and it sounds really good and it feels really good, but then you're like, but oh, it's not gonna work with my tribe, it's not gonna work with my people. I'm not gonna be able to convince this person to, allow us to do it. So we really try to get as many tangible resources as possible. So for example, with our virtual online courses, what happens is that you not only, you take the course and let's say a week later you're like, what did she say about blah, blah, blah? You get to go back in, you get to see the recording. So if you need to actually convince someone that, hey, we need to train our manager, we need to train our employees, you can sit there and show it to them, right? They can watch it. Okay, and then you also have a resource which then tells you, okay, you just sat with us for an hour, here's how to now go implement that. So our approach to training is consultative, and what that means is that, you can pay thousands of dollars for a consultant to come in and tell you what to do, right? We give that to you as part of the course, okay? And it says, okay, the first step is, if you're here, try this, right? If you've never coached anybody before, start here, right? So it's literally the now what. We give you the now what, right? Beyond